Hello, my fellow healers, gamers, and WoW connoisseurs. We are back with Off Meta to Keystone Master. Oh, and what a season awaits us. This time we are on the Resto Druid. Not really an off meta spec or class, whatever you want to call it, but there's always a but. We went Venthyr. Woohoo! On the screen right now, you have the starting point of my character. I just want to explain really fast. It has 210 item level on it. The reason for it having this item level is because this was supposed to be used in Season 2, not in Season 3. Though, because of me slacking in Season 2 and really getting burned out of World of Warcraft, I decided to not do it anymore and use it for Season 3. It never did Mythic Plus. Like, it just did some M0s and that's it really. So, let's talk about why this video was made. It's simply because I wanted to show you how I prepare my character. It has everything really recorded. The only thing that actually I forgot to record was the M0s, but basically it was just me opening the LFG and picking the first 4 people who applied, and it worked. That was it. So, alright, let's go and talk about Venthyr Resto Druid, because this is... I was actually shocked in every possible way. I went on Resto.io and I couldn't find a single Resto Druid that played this. I was like, okay, maybe I can find one on Warcraft logs. Spoiler, I didn't find anyone on Warcraft logs. I believe I found a Chinese Resto Druid who ran Venthyr, but it was a +7. So I was like, oh god, this is bad. So I was like, okay, well, no one is playing it, so like this was really the first sign where you could say, okay, this is like a bit shaky. So I went online again and I tried to look up guides for Venthyr Resto Druid. Spoiler, there really weren't any. And then I just facepalmed myself and I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to freestyle and YOLO my conduits, talents, and literally playstyle. Like there was no one to look at, and yeah, just so you guys know, for future times, do not play this. This has got to be one of the worst combinations I've ever seen in my life. With the series back in season 1 with the Mistweaver 1, I played Night Fae, which at a first glance it looked bad, but I believe it dealt the most amount of damage. I'm not sure if it did at that time, but it did some damage. So I could kind of find a way of like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's good here. But with Druid, this Covenant, first of all, it doesn't really help you with healing that much. It's like a scuffed, essentially a scuffed Discipline Priest ramp, but thrown on a Druid. So I was like, okay, well, maybe for healing is bad, but what about the DPS? Maybe I just found some crazy ass DPS thing. It's pretty bad there. I initially wanted to go Feral Affinity, and on the screen right now you have my talents. I initially wanted to go Feral Affinity, but I did some M0s with Feral Affinity, but the thing is I was getting stunned left and right because I couldn't really maintain the Ravenous Frenzy stacks, right? So I had to go Balance Affinity so I can be in range mode and spam Sunfires, Moonfires, Wraths, whatever. And I did try my combo on these dummies. And we were basically doing at most 2k DPS on a freaking good day. And here's when I actually realized into what I'm actually getting. I was tempted to kind of call it off at one point because this was... like, I'm not even kidding. This is actually really bad. Like, this is close to unplayable. Because most of the series, it felt like I was playing without a Covenant. Like, it just felt like I was playing with only... how should I call it? With only the conduits, and that's it. Like, it was just borderline useless. I don't have any good words about it. I genuinely don't have any good words about the specific Covenant. So I learned to play Restored mostly on hard mode, which was an experience. It really felt bad on previous weeks because I didn't have a Covenant to really fix. Like, I didn't have like a crutch with, how should I call it, With Convoke is a massive crutch for a lot of Resto Druids, and I think people usually use it when they have to heal a lot. Necklord, the Adaptive Swarm is also really, really good for Mythic Plus, especially for Mythic Plus. Convoke is much better for raid, but it's still decent in Mythic Plus. But Adaptive Swarm in Mythic Plus is absolutely amazing. Kindred Spirit is, I guess, is good, but it got nerfed. So we were left with Ravenous Frenzy as being the bad choice, and I think after playing with this, and maybe later on I will play this thing again, like this character again, and swap it to another Covenant, or who knows, I might continue playing this character in the next expansion. I think after switching off to a more decent Covenant or to a more meta build, I will be able to play Resto Druid better because I won't be really using that crutch. What I also wanted to talk about is that this thing has never done Courtium. So obviously we were in Carbonzo gear. We were like in really bad gear. So I decided to skip directly to Zero of Mortis. I didn't actually skip Zero of Mortis. I could have skipped it, but I didn't. The reason that I didn't skip Zero of Mortis is because I needed the loot from the starting quests, which I believe we got a few, but not that many pieces that we really needed. They were still useful, but we didn't really need them. They were kind of placeholders. Also, the Zero of Mortis interquests give Renown, which we needed. We started at 40, we then started at 80. I was struggling in Zero of Mortis. I was basically in bunking form trying to snipe any quest objectives with my Moonfire and Sunfire. I severely underestimated how hard the start will be, simply because of, like, we were in a very scuffed build with very scuffed gear, so it's not like we could have fallen onto something, so we just had to really use our skill and experience from before. Here, and in this clip right here, you actually see me starting to kite questing mobs like I was playing Classic. Like, just look at this. I was actually even using my Bull Rush passive. We're playing High Mountain Tauren, which, just so you guys know, the Bull Rush actually stuns the things that you hit. It's pretty much a forward charge. So yeah, Zero of Mortis was an absolute pain. After this, we basically did, I think we did a few world quests, but I didn't really bother with Zero of Mortis rep. I was already doing it on my main, and pretty much called it a day there. I didn't see any reason for me to do world quests in Zero of Mortis on my Druid. We did go and do Torghast, which was also a very interesting experience. The reason we did Torghast is actually pretty simple. I initially wanted to go for the Drought of the Deep Focus, I think it's called, Legendary, which will increase the damage of my Moonfire, and I believe it also increases the initial healing of my Rejuve, if I remember correctly. Though I got hit by a very serious issue, is that to get that Legendary, I needed to get a Great Vault option. But again, I don't want to do Mythic Plus without Legendaries anymore. It's Season 3, that shouldn't even be a thing, right? So yeah, I decided I'm just gonna go into Torghast and farm these tomes that unlock a random legendary. My other shock is that when I unlocked more legendaries, I also found out that you unlock legendaries from all the specs. And spoiler again, Druids have 4 specs. So I was unlocking from 4 specs. I initially gave up and went on my shaman, as you can see right here, and I sent a massive amount of souls. I think I sent 20. I think I sent around 20k, around that range, and I pretty much played the casino with me opening soul centers. Sorry, not soul centers. Opening these tomes. We got the Verdant Infusion, and the moment I got the Verdant Infusion, I just said, "F it, I'm gonna use this legendary. I don't care." I think it was decent. I think this is like kind of the healing legendary for Mythic Plus. You can even see me being happy about it. So yeah, we went for the infusion. We crafted on the back, I believe, with the missives of haste and mastery. I believe we should have went haste and versatility, in my opinion, but that's for another episode, I guess. Yeah, I believe we did it also at a rank 3, so that's 235 item level, which is more than enough for the start. And this was really our only legendary. We can remember in the first week of the season 3 Mythic Plus, we only had one legendary. Later on, we're gonna get our second one, but we didn't play that much with it. Either way, this is our character that we're gonna start off with. It has legendary. I forgot to enchant in this picture, but we're gonna enchant in the next episode, I believe. So we started with 229 item level, a respectable item level. I expected worse. So yeah, I'm not sure if I specified at the start, but I forgot to record my M0s. But trust me, all I did was open the LFG and get the first people that applied. Either way, that was it for this episode. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Hope I answered all of them or got you up to speed as to how I managed to get this thing going for the next episode. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.